Hello everyone, it's Lydia. Today I'm making a handmade card and I'm also trying a new angle on my camera. So hopefully you ladies can get a better view. So let's get started because I have a lot to cover. So the card is going to be, the colors are going to be pinks, white, and black. So I chose this stripe print paper here, and I don't know who makes this collection. I picked this up at Michael's. I think it's Recollections, but I'm not sure. I'm not using this one, but it had beautiful black and white prints on it. So I'm using this stripe piece here. And then from the Lady Couture stack, I'm using this beautiful pink floral paper. It has like a nice sheen to it. I don't know if you can see it. I'm using that one. And then from the Main Street stack, from DCWV, I'm using this specialty paper. It has like a nice velour feel to it. Hear that? I'm using that one, and I'm also using this a piece right here that I cut out, one of the ladies' heads. This also has like a nice little velvety feel to it. It's pretty specialty papers in here. So for the base of the card, I'm using plain pink cardstock, and it measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I just folded it in half. I cut all my papers, and I used some distress inks. This one here, Tim Holtz Antique Linen. So I use that on all my papers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to layer this piece of craft paper. And I've already gone ahead and distressed it with my Tim Holtz distress tool, and I added some of the distress ink on there. So let me just get that down. Just gonna put it on there so that the pink shows a little bit all around the edges. My next layer is going to be the striped paper that I showed you. And this is 1 inch wide, and I've already gone and added my distress inks to it. I'm going to put it right up on top. Right there. Now my next layer is going to be that pretty floral print that I showed you with the pink. My ATG is going to run out of glue soon. I'm going to put that right underneath it. And this one I have to redo because it's not centered correctly. There we go, that's better. Now the next piece I'm using this was just a plain piece of white cardstock. And I did the scallop here. I don't have a scallop die or punch, so I made it with this one. It's a corner puncher. I just used that to make my little scallops. And I went ahead and stamped it with Kaiser Craft's Music Note stamp that I love. And then I distressed it. It was like really, really white, and I wanted to tone it down a little bit, so I distressed that. So I'm going to add that next. I think this is a better angle. What do you think, ladies? I don't have to keep turning the card to show you what I'm doing. And then next I'm going to add this pretty little dainty black lace trim that I picked up at the thrift store. And for this I'm going to use some double-sided tape, because if I use the glue gun it's going to be too thick and it's going to show through the lace. The tape still shows through a little bit, but it's not that bad. So I'm going to add my lace. If I could get this off. Of course, everything goes wrong when you're trying to film, right? There we go. So I'm going to add my lace. And I'm going to cut off the excess here. That's that. Next I'm going to use these pieces here. I have that little lady head that I showed you that I cut out. I have a piece of chipboard that I went ahead and distressed. This was sent to me by Bambi. Thank you, Bambi. I just got that in a rack. I'm going to use that specialty paper, and I cut this with this punch right here. This is a Marby punch, the little scallop square. Oops, I can't get it on frame. So I cut that out, and I also cut out a piece of craft. And I'm going to overlap these and just, I'm building up some layers here. So I'm going to overlap this just a tad. And I'm going to add my chipboard piece. That's going to frame out the lady's head. If I had a nice, one of those pretty cameos you ladies are finding, I would have used one of those. But this will do. It's going to look pretty. I'm going to add the lady's head in the center. That's the way that's looking. I'm going to add that to my card. I'm running out of ATG glue here. I'm going to put it right about here because I have a flower that I want to add there. So let's see. Yeah, right there. I'm going to add it right there. Okay, so it's looking like that so far. And then next I'm going to add this cute little black with white polka dot flower that Bambi sent me. Thank you, Bambi. Using the goodies you sent me. I'm just going to apply some hot glue on there and add it right to the corner here. So next I'm going to add this pink button, and I went ahead and strung some embroidery floss through it, some white one. I'm gonna use my glue gun for that. So that's what it's looking like so far. Next I'm gonna add this little dupe cherry blossom that I made. I made it out of pink cardstock, and I added some beads in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Right to the corner, next to the other flower. Next is a little piece of blossom, some trim from Sock Crafters, the smaller ones. Little pink bloomer. I'm going to add it on the other side. Next I'm going to add this little bit of flower trim that I got from Karen in a rack. Thank you, Karen. Really dainty and small, and I'm going to add that right here. And I had another piece, here we go, because this one is too short, so I'm going to have to use this one. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of hot glue on here. Let me make sure this is going to fit right. So I'm going to try to make it as thin as possible, because the trim is so small. I don't want a lot of glue showing, or any glue showing. So there's the trim. Okay, next I'm going to add a couple more flowers. This one is, I'm going to take the backing off. This one is from Michael's in the $1.50 section. The light on my camera is coming on because I forgot to turn on the other light. I'm going to add it right there. Okay, give me a sec. Let me turn my other light on. I'm back. Next, I'm going to add this little flower I made using a paper punch, and I added a little black bead in the center. You see that? Why is it not focusing today? Okay, I'm going to add that. Right next to it. Okay, next I'm going to add my sentiment, and I stamped this using this Stamp by Stampendous, and it already had like this wave on it, and I don't have like any banner punches or anything, so what I did was I just kind of went with the curve and I cut it on the curve, and then I made it into a banner. And I want to use pop dots on this one, on this piece. So I bent the banner a little bit. So I need to use my pop dots. So the challenge is going great, ladies. I've been looking at all your beautiful cards. And I'm going to let it run till the 10th, and then on the 11th I will announce the winners. So here we go, here's my banner, and I'm just bending it a little bit. I'm going to add it right here. So that's what the card looks like. What do you think, ladies? I think it turned out kind of cute. Now for the inside, I'm going to keep it nice and plain. I'm going to add some designer paper. Again, I'm using that striped one, and I went ahead and distressed it with my tool, and I inked it. I did this beforehand so the video wouldn't be that long. So I'm going to add that. And it just died. Let me get my backup. So I'm going to add that. And I'm keeping this pretty simple in the inside. So I'm centering it. Then I'm going to add this die cut piece. I used the Sizzix Frame Back Ornate number 3 for this one. Looks like that. And I already went ahead and distressed it. And then I stamped this. I used the stamp that Bambi just sent me in a rack. And this is the Alyssum by Stampin' Up. I used that at the corner here. And I'm going to add a tiny flower. This is one of those small Got Prima ones. And I added a tiny little black bling in the center. And I'm just going to add it right on the edge, right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. That's where I'm going to write my note. I'm happy I had that. I was prepared today. So I'm going to go ahead and center this. Thank you, Bambi, for the stamp. I love it. So there's the inside of the card. And here's the outside. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you like my card. Post a comment if you wish and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.